Saturday, Sunday. Saturday already happened. It is Sunday, the 16th, February 16th, 3:39. We're headed for our first scrape at the condos. We have about 2.5 inches. Some of these main roads are plowed, some aren't. It's looking like it takes about 3 hours for us to scrape out the roads, and in that time it looks like we might get another inch. So we'll scrape them down, salt everything, and see where it goes from there. We have potential of ice on the way, so if I can salt up a slushy, icy 1.5 inches or so, that'd be probably a great plan. So let's see if our plan comes together. It is 4:43, so about an hour. Harvey has his end knocked open. I have the main road and a couple of the little short roads that are easy with the truck knocked open. And timing wise, this whole thing, I just threw out a round of salt on everything we do have opened up to start burning it off. I can already see it. I don't think any of this will really show up good for you guys on video, but I can see and hear, because you can hear your tires and the slush, that the salt is starting to break everything open. So I am now going to hop in the skid steer and start working on some of the more complex areas and roads. Harvey will follow behind me with his skid steer and the push box. I'm going to try to get you guys set up to maybe watch along in the skid steer, and maybe I'll gab along and you guys can suffer through me talking and probably not making much sense because I'm trying to concentrate on plowing and, you know, tired and all that good stuff. But let's shut this truck down for a minute. Yeah, window up, plow down, down, and light off, truck off. Grab our phone. Let's see what we can do in the skid steer. In the back of Harvey's truck. Probably most of the snow will shake off when I go down the road, but if I can get this light a little more visible. Passes with a street blade. time I plowed it, or at what amount, or whatever, they're gonna complain. These two cars aren't supposed to be here. Rushing right to this mailbox Sunday morning, but if I don't open it, somebody would need to get in here. So if I just knock it open real quick, nothing fancy but accessible. Understand these little dog poop stations. I understand the dog poop stations. I don't understand those, and if I think of it, I'll show you on the other end. The the blue mailbox drop box deals. I don't know why they're so far off the edge of the curve. Instead of being like a break in the curb, something you can plow up to or shovel up to. You have to literally step over a curb to get to those, or to get to that mailbox deal. Alright, and I might as well break open the ends of these three so that they're not a windrow here. A lot of the storms, the timing of it, and the way these little driveways are, where their cars take up, half or more of the driveway. A lot of times, the people will just move their cars and shovel what the car didn't cover. So if they're going to shovel the driveway, the least I can do is make sure there's not a big road to have to shovel through. Swipes with this equals like 165 shovelfuls, so that's not actual math. Please don't let me do that. Next. work. It's not just this place. It's not like I got a bad one and these are bad homeowners and bad renters. It's just how these like condo associations and HOAs and that sort of thing. It's just how they work. You're never going to make everybody happy. They set or at least in this particular place, they set my plow procedure. They set the plow procedure. The people, the board, and then the property management company all set this up, and that's what I go by. These aren't my guidelines or timing of events. None of it is on Pool and Property. And I swear that almost 50% of the people in here, which mind you, it goes out on the Facebook that they have, it goes out, and everybody gets an email. There's like meetings, so all these opportunities for people to understand how this works, and people still don't understand how this works. You know, this whole place, I'm sure, was some engineers. Great ideas. Which never really seems to take into effect snow plowing. Engineers really never engineer that in for us. Case in point, this next road, I'll show you. I have 2 snow dumps on the lower end, and unless the cars are all moved, which if you don't know, and I've said it before, or you're new here, we don't plow car spaces, parking areas, unless it's a storm above 2 inches. So, if I have under 2 inches, or if I'm trying to just get the roads open like we are right now, I have nowhere to put the snow. Because the 2 corners have 2 parking areas and those 2 areas block off the corner. Look, we have this guy out here right now. Maybe he's going to work. But I'll tell you what gets aggravating there too. The snow plow procedure is over 2 inches. Next biggest thing. The plowing of the spaces will begin at 8 a.m. So if a storm goes beyond 10 a.m., the plowing of the spaces goes the following day, starts at 8 a.m. And there is a text message, a group that goes out. Samantha sends out to each road, each section. Something like, you know, hey, Road A, please be prepared, have your cars cleaned off and moved for snow removal for 8 a.m. Road B, please be ready to have your cars cleaned off and moved for snow removal 8:30. Telling them to return opens up where they move to, because where they're supposed to excuse me, where they're supposed to move to excuse me again, is along the side of this main road, we'll call it. Well, if everybody moves out there and doesn't move back, all of a sudden now everybody's moving into my way. And that is a problem. Or, I like to have these sidewalks right in front of me, these main sidewalks plowed before everybody parks there. couldn't plow these windrows out and leave them and wait for Harvey to come along behind me. I'd have to have them cleaned up immediately behind me. Let's see how something like that works. See, if you can hear me, you can see my tire tracks over here already running in slush. The salt's already working. Just put it out within the last 10 minutes, and I'll tell you what my phone says it is for temperature. Well, it says it's 22 degrees and 448. Scraping down pretty good. But so far, knock on wood, I have plenty of traction in this. I do enjoy plowing this, I think, much more than the truck. Just better visibility, better maneuverability. Out of the way. I could get out and move them, and I'm trying not to be lazy, but I put you guys on the door, which means I would have to undo the camera to open the door. So if I can move the cones like this for now. I got a bunch of windrows and all through bluffs for you. I just don't want to leave them because cars can't cross over the middle. Without moving all the cars, so I was going to try to combine this storm's cleanup with moving some snow, so as to not have everybody move twice. Kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. If you made people move, they'd be upset. Don't have them move, they wonder why you didn't, do two separate events. Kind of a lose-lose on us, but we do what we can. Happy, and everybody knows how to do this job better than we do, whether they're a doctor or a lawyer or nurse or carpenter or whatever profession they are. They know how to do this better than we do, so I should take their advice. That way as well. Next time I'm wondering how I should do this, just ask 10 people in here and I'll get 10 different answers and still not know what to do. Something about this snowbank, that's why I'm doing this. Said to Samantha, the last company pushed it, last year they pushed it back farther than this. Well, last year we didn't have this much snow, and every time it did snow, 3 days later it was melted. So you can't really compare that. Like I make the snowbanks bigger, and I have designated snow dumps, so it's not like I can put less snow here and more of it somewhere else. I cheat where I can, but this is kind of one of those areas that all summer I had people coming up to me, and throughout these different areas here. Oh, snow has to go all down that end. You can't have any, here and here and here. be mindful of them, not put snow there. I put it in the designated snow dump. And then for sakes and purposes of just some dude, let's say Mr. Smith tells Smith essentially that we're doing it wrong. And the last company somehow magically had less snow down here or something. It's like the same people that I'll plow a 2-3 inch storm and they'll say they never even plowed, they never even salted. Well, I guess all the snow just melted and all these snowbanks and windrows and white roads from salt residue. I guess that's just nature and magic too. Man, people are funny. You know, there's a lot of things I don't have a clue how to do, so I wouldn't begin to tell somebody that does that how to do their job. I think snow plowing is one of those ones that, for whatever reason, everybody's an expert. From the 40-year-old that's never done anything but push buttons in a machine shop to a 65-year-old who's never done anything but paperwork, to a 90-year-old woman who's never had to do her own snow removal in her life. They all know better than me. Funny. I'm not really complaining. I understand that's how it's going to be. I'm just kind of laughing and sharing that with you guys. If you can even hear me. I'm not sure how much of me any of this is going to pick up with the noise of the machine and such. If you're lucky, it won't pick up any of me talking. Not quite sure why Harvey didn't do this. I don't know how this road right here is easier with this than a truck. Or, I mean, every other section down here, he plows in scoop and carries the snow. These two sections I just did with this are no different than that, and way shorter. So I'm not quite sure why that happened, or what the thought process was there. He had told me this whole land was faster with the truck, and we would do the two cul-de-sacs on his two roads with skid steers, and 90% of my end is easier with the two skid steers or with a V-plow. But my XLS works decent on the roads and lower snow amounts. It doesn't work anything like a V-plow. Doing it like this doesn't make as much sense as a V-plow or how he normally does it every other time. But here I am. ragging on him because, well, sometimes what he does just doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
All right, Joe. The camera died. You're home. I made y'all dinner. You're gonna take a little nap.
I think I might take a shower.
And then we're gonna may or may not scrape tonight.
Yeah, I'm gonna check on it. It keeps going back and forth between like a rain, sleet.
Kashi, why are you breathing so hard?
He doesn't like being on the camera.
No, what does it matter?
But it keeps going back and forth, and when we left, I salted the hell out of it. Like, I put down double the salt that I would normally do, knowing that it was going to be back and forth like this. So, yeah, I mean, regardless, I'll go check it later.
But for tonight,
I'm really hoping that it's just go early morning, scrape the main road, scrape the sidewalks on the main road, salt that, and then let people start moving out. Because the trouble with, if I have to plow all the roads again, I'm only going to plow them just to replow them when I pull all the spots out.
Right.
So that would be like 5 plows.
It'd be like double the work for just moving cars. So if there's
an inch of snow and it's like, as long as it's not slippery, I feel like I'm leaving the inch of snow with salt in it.
But, alright YouTube, thanks for joining Joe and the skid steer, and be ready for the cleanup video tomorrow.
I tried to end it for you, and apparently it didn't save.
The camera died, it didn't save. We're improvising, and I'm gonna upload, get it to you, get some rest, and get back at it. Peace out, YouTube.